Hey everyone, today's heart-centered practice comes from my dad, who always used to say, if you are always curious, you will never be bored. When I was a little kid, if I would get bored or say I was bored or act bored, all of a sudden my sweet, loving dad would turn into Vincent Price. The eyebrow would arch and he would say, bored? Bored? Boredom is the eighth deadly sin. How can you be bored in a world that is as glorious and as full of life and interesting things to learn about and see as this world? And then, now that I'd been sort of relegated to the lowest level of humanity, a child who could deign to be bored, he would do something that my mother didn't do as well. My mother taught me a lot of important lessons, but often her lessons were fear-based. My dad's lessons were love-based, because then he would show me everything around us that could make us interested, that we could talk about together, learn about together, see more deeply together. And so these days, as we're all in the middle of this stillness and we're being bombarded by fear and there's a lot of discomfort in the stillness, I find that my dad's words keep coming back to me. And I realize that his practice of curiosity was a heart-centered practice because it got him always into looking with his heart. And when you look with your heart, you look with an open mind. You're willing to look at yourself. You're willing to look at others. And so I want to suggest that today, if you feel anxiety or stress coming up, try my dad's heart-centered practice of curiosity. Look out your window and look at something you haven't really let yourself look at. Look more deeply. Go on a walk and be really curious about what you see in windows, in people's yards, on the ground. When you're home, be curious about what pops into your mind and look deeply at your own thought process. When you're curious, you actually dive below the habits in your head and reconnect with your heart. So today's heart-centered practice comes from my dad. Be curious and move into your heart and love viral.